good morning, my friends. It is great to be with you all. Exciting times around Friedman Adventures. Our YouTube channel has a new show debuting tonight, the Danny Cadota Show at 6 p.m. It'll be live. You'll be able to ask Danny questions. Danny is so knowledgeable. He's such a nice guy, and we are so proud to present to you tonight the Danny Cadota Show at 6 p.m. Don't miss it. Make sure you tune in. And fishing is darn good right now. The Pride with another great bluefin tuna trip. We'll have details on that, as well as some upcoming trips for this weekend. Make sure you stick around for all of that. Along the coast, there's some really wonderful shallow water rockfish trips going on, and there's one with an opening that we'll tell you about when we come back in just one more moment. Down towards San Diego, we continue to see good rockfish and some signs of yellowtail at the islands, and also down in Ensenada, tremendous bottom bite for the guys from Bluefin, Arnie Sport Fishing, Costa Baja Sport Fishing. There's so much to talk about. I can't believe that it's December and we're moving up on Christmas. You know what time it is, everybody. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning to you. Oh my God, is that good? Hey, good morning, everybody. It is great to be back with you all. Again, thanks so much for tuning in to the morning briefing. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you all. The weather, man, is all over the place. It was supposed to rain today, but at 22nd Street Landing, it's beautiful here this morning. Now, Friday, it's 80%. There's supposed to be some offshore wind this weekend, perhaps. But as I say, it just seems like things are all over the place. So we'll continue to watch it for you very, very closely and let you know how things are going along. Now, Saturday, we're going to be at Gallagher Staging in La Mirada, and you can come over and lend a hand. We've got all kinds of clothing and medical supplies and so much more that have been donated for our efforts south of the border in Mexico. And we need to separate that. We need to make adult, men, women's, kids, separate the medical stuff. So we get down there, we have a lot of fun, and it'll be from 9 to 3 in the afternoon, 9 a.m. to 3 over in La Mirada. If you can make it, if you want more information, just send my buddy Greg a text. He's at 714-868-1577. Send him a text, and I'll be there. I'll be there goofing around and separating the clothing with you. I'm good for those first 3 hours or so, and then it kind of goes downhill. I start throwing things at people and everything else, but we'll have a good time. And if we could knock this out, it'd be great, because we've got maybe another 8 events in Mexico that we will be doing toward the end of this year and into next year, including Cedros Island. So it's going to be great, and it's fishermen really reaching their hands across the border to help those who really need our help, as well as a way of saying thank you for allowing us to fish in your pristine, gorgeous, beautiful waters, those beautiful waters of Mexico that are so abundant. So keep that in mind. Hey, there's a good friend of mine, David Rosenthal. David has contributed to this Mexico effort. He donated some smoke detectors for a family who lost their house in a terrible fire in Mexicali. And he's also been there with clothing and so much more. He's got one opening on a trip on the new Hustler 2. That's out of Hooks Landing. It's a 1.5 trip. It sails December the 5th, back in the early morning hours of December the 7th. $450 includes all your meals, and it's kind of a plastics, jigs type trip. So you're going to be fishing that bottom stuff, but most of it on the jigs and the plastics. And later on in today's show, we'll have a report from the new Hustler about how good that bite is right now. If you want some information, if you want information or you want to sign up, David is a great guy. He's been on the Friedman Adventures trips. Fabulous human being, a lot of fun, always laughing, always positive. I love it. Give him a call at 818-625-5595 and get that last trip. Man, the truth be known, that's my favorite kind of fishing. I love shallow water rockfish, especially when you're catching lings and sheep's head. They pull, they're fun to catch, and they're great eating. How can you beat that? All right, let's take you south of the border, and then I'll work you into this bluefin tuna zone where fishing remains really excellent, unseasonably good fishing. Well, I guess I say unseasonably because it's December, but last year it bit right into the new year, and it's going to do that again this year if it continues to head in the same direction that it is right now. So, south of the border, down there in Ensenada, I got to reference that great day on Saturday that Blackfin Sport Fishing made possible. Victor's wife, she did it all. We just showed up with some clothing, but we were able to see it with our own eyes, see the kids, the smiles, feel the joy. It was a wonderful event as an orphanage from Valle de Guadalupe came out to Blackfin Sport Fishing in the Punta Banda area, had food, had a clown, face painting, all kinds of stuff going on. It was really fun. And as I tell you so many times, it's all of you who donate clothing and funds who make this all possible. I'm Santa Claus. I get to go out and hand it out. I get the easy part. You guys are the ones who donate all the stuff. And again, we have all these events on the horizon. Please help us out this Saturday by separating, and we'll have some raffles and some more info coming up here shortly. So anyway, down there, rock fishing remains really good. They hang a left, go down there towards Santo Tomas in many cases, fish the Soledad Bank, and they're catching lings and reds and boccaccio and all kinds of great fish down there in that neck of the woods. I highly recommend Blackfin Sport Fishing. They are fantastic. I think you would enjoy yourselves. I know you would enjoy yourselves, not only because the fishing is so darn good, but because the people at Blackfin are so nice. So you might want to do a trip before Christmas. If not, don't delay too long to make a reservation for next year because they are going to book up, I'll tell you that. Also down there in Ensenada, Arnie Mann. He's a fantastic guy. Arnie Sport Fishing, highly recommend Arnie. He does a fantastic job catching a few yellowtail also time once in a while down there. So every once in a while they find some yellows at Todos Santos. Sometimes they'll bite the yo-yo iron, and sometimes they're surface feeders. So bring both types of jigs, surface iron and heavier yo-yo type irons. That's a good way to go. Costa Baja Sport Fishing, Diego Nuno, deckhand on the Royal Star. We fish with Diego a lot down there. He's got another guy when he's on the Star running his operation, and the guy is good, treats you right. Fantastic, Costa Baja. So those guys south of the border will really help you out. And incidentally, we dropped a video the other day about that event down there at Blackfin Sport Fishing. Check it out. You know, you're not only going to see the event down there, but you'll see the best carne asada tacos anywhere in Tecate, or almost anywhere. I mean, I love Los Amigos in Tecate. Highly recommended. Great breakfast spot for you in Ensenada for sure. And Playa Saldamondo, a stretch of the Baja coast that is truly a gem. Check out that video before you go anywhere else. All right, let's get up to the Bluefin tuna area. A lot of San Diego boats have thrown the towel in because, man, they caught too many fish. But some guys are going to continue to focus on that BFT that's out there near Tanner Bank and surrounding areas, Cortez and all those areas out there. The Pride, the latest guys to be out there. They're headed back here to 22nd Street Landing right now. Just missed on limits of bluefin tuna. I think they had 16 guys and 55 bluefin. I might be off just by that much, but they were 3 fish shy of limits of BFT. I don't know how it can get any better than that. The grade anywhere from like 15 to 25 pounds. They had a few bigger fish than that. You do see some bigger ones bouncing around there, like 100 plus pound category, but a lot of it is that 18 to 25 pound BFT. It's a daytime bite out there right now, so those fish are a little finicky. They want a good hot bait. Sometimes you have to drop your hook size down from a 2.0 to a number 2, and of course fluorocarbon is the way to go. And we love Opsin Fluorocarbon. www. I better not do that. I don't want anybody throwing up. OpsinUSA.com. Put in FA at checkout, and you'll get a free gift and a love note from Greg Brown. So that is what you want to do. Fish fluoro. If you don't like Opsin, fish what you like. But we love Opsin around this place. So really good fishing out there on not the biggest grade bluefin tuna, but who cares? They're nice fish, great eating, fight hard. And how can you beat it during this time of the year? So there you are. You're all tackled up. Now, is there a nighttime bite? It's been really iffy lately, but there is a sign of that fish out there. Sean Roberts, who runs the Pride, Saw some really nice schools at night. They were finicky and boat shy, it seemed like. Didn't want to bite that well. They did hang some fish, but it was a little bit difficult. But it seems like that still is a thing that could come together. And remember, when you're out there and you're the only boat, the pride's out there, it's really hard. You got 15 boats out there. You got coverage. You got a lot of guys spread all out. This guy gets bit, and you're in his code group. He calls you over. But when you're the only boat out there, it is a little bit more difficult. What I'm saying to you is, what Sean found at night could be the tip of the iceberg. There could still be that nighttime bite. And man, what a way to finish out the year. If you had a nighttime and a daytime bite come together, what a trip that would be. Freedom is a definite go out of 22nd Street Landing here at beautiful San Pedro on a day-and-a-half trip, leaving Friday night. And then the Pride be going again Saturday night for another, I think, day-and-a-half trip, day and three-quarter day trip. You can check with the landing here at 22nd Street to get on either one of those trips. There is supposed to be some breeze out there on Sunday, and it's going to get a little breezy, but as I said, the weather just seems to be all over the place right now. Hopefully, the wind will stay down good enough where you're able to fish that. Now, nighttime, the jigs that you're using are those knife jigs, and that 300 gram to 600 gram weight, it seems to be working best. The key, as always, is to drop when the captain tells you to drop. Not to be drinking coffee, not to be chatting up a pretty girl who might be on board. Stop that. That's not what you're there for. Drop when the captain says to drop. Joe Martinez, he's catching those giant bluefin tuna. He comes out on our FA charters all the time. Joe had a 315 this year. Beautiful fish up there on the Endeavor with Tucker McCombs. Joe works hard. There's no secret to it. He's at the rail. When the captain says drop, he's on it. He drops 50 feet down further than the captain says. Captain says fish are at 300. He drops to 350 and winds like crazy, like the crazy man that he is. So keep that all in mind, and that nighttime bite may manifest itself. For right now, I love daytime bluefin tuna fishing, and so we've got that going, and I don't think anything's slowing that down. I think it's going to continue to bite unless we were to get some really horrific weather. We've already kind of had that, though, and it bit right through it, so it seems like it's going to hang around for a little bit longer. All right, now let's take you down to the islands, and let's talk San Martin Island, down 140 miles down the Baja coast. Good rockfish going on down there. A few yellows also biting in that neck of the woods. Up to Todos Santos off of Ensenada. A few yellowtail. Arnie's been getting a few. Some big bonita also all over the place, and good rock fishing. Same thing as you go down the coast. The boys out of Blackfin getting all that rockfish. Then we get you up to Catalina Island. Good bonita with some rockfish. Clemente. Not many guys fishing. A few yellows there. And good rock fishing, but most guys are fishing that bluefin tuna. Santa Barbara Island, some big yellows, not a lot, but a lot of squid all over the place. There's market squid everywhere, and that's a magnet that draws in all of the predators. Of course, from high school biology, you remember the big ones come to eat the little ones. That's the food chain, and the market squid moves in, and yellows and halibut and white sea bass will follow it. Sometimes that bite doesn't manifest itself till months after, like next spring. Sometimes you can get a good pop at them, and I know some of those smaller yachts still getting some awfully big white sea bass at Catalina Island. Shh, they don't want you to know that. Shh, 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 shh. But there's some big sea bass out there at Cat and Santa Barbara Island. Some guys I know have pounded those fish. So really, really big stuff. A little bit more difficult to get into where they're fishing that stuff on the sport boats, but it's there. That's a good sign. Happy to see that. Moving you up there to the Channel Islands. Magnificent fishing going on up there for shallow water rockfish. In fact, it's been so good. I mentioned up front, David Rosenthal has that trip. Well, Bobby Hara was just out with Chris Velasquez fishing San Miguel Island, fishing shallow water rockfish with the new Hustler. And man, all you got to do is look at those photos. That is my kind of fishing. I love catching this kind of fish. Sheepshead and lingcod and whitefish and, vermilions, all of that fish biting really, really well. And it is chewing up a storm right now. And that's a great trip for Bobby and his group. I know they had a great time, and they went out of their way to say that they wanted to say thank you to Captain Chris Velasquez and the crew up there for doing such a fantastic job. Okay, the Endeavor also, Ventura Sport Fishing, they're still running trips. Hopefully, we're going to be seeing some more fish come out of there, big rockfish and lings and all of that. Well, not hopefully. I mean, Tucker McCombs is one of the hardest fishermen you'll ever run into, and he just keeps cranking up some big numbers, so really good. Along the coast, and I'm talking about half day, 3/4 day guys, pretty much all shallow water rockfish right now and doing pretty well everywhere. So you can get out Monte Carlo, you can get out on any number of boats from San Diego up there to Burgess and Morro Bay and do really, really well. That has been pretty good. And now they might have to start focusing on the whitefish, sheepshead during closures of the rockfish. You can fish some of those species, but not all of those species, sculpin, sand bass, that kind of stuff, as we move into closed rockfish season. All right, in the surf, a little bit of barred perch starting to move in the cooler water. That is a thing, so that's starting to look pretty darn good. And also, we continue to see a few yellowfin croaker, spotfin croaker, occasional halibut. Also, I'm already thinking about grunion runs in the spring. Man, this year just flew by. I can't believe how fast it went. All right, Saturday, we're over there at La Mirada at Gallagher Staging. Send Greg a text if you'd like to join us, 714-868-1577. Make sure you smash that like button for the morning briefing and all the great shows that we have here. And I will have information for you tomorrow about a special kids trip we're doing, about some raffles that I really need your help with. If you're able to help out selling tickets, meeting down here for meetings and organizing things, deeply appreciate it. You can reach me at 657-227-6459. Make sure you send me a text. Many times I'm not able to answer, so I can get to the text and get back to you later on. Tonight, the Danny Cadota Show right here, 6 p.m., 20 seconds to land in beautiful San Pedro, California. So excited about that. It's live. You can ask Danny questions, wish him a Merry Christmas, give him a virtual hug, whatever you want to do. You can do it tonight at 6. Thanks again, everybody. Once again, I salute you all. I wish you a wonderful day. I thank you for all you do to elevate us statistically by hitting that like button, by sharing these videos, by subscribing. I thank you for all the donations you've given us for Mexico Lindo. We'll continue our work down there in that neck of the woods, and I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friend.